Action!
Good afternoon. I'm here to tell you about my experience in the military shooting a 9mm pistol. Ever since I was a child, I always seen cop movies and wondered how the cop always was able to hit his target. Well, I learned that it was because he had training on a 9mm pistol and the 4 basic fundamentals. Today I will discuss with you the 4 fundamentals of shooting. However, it's not going to be descriptive enough to actually shoot a weapon, but it's just going to give you basic knowledge. 4 fundamentals that I will discuss today are going to be sight picture, setting position, breathing, and trigger squeeze. First, we will talk about sight picture. The picture that you see up here is a picture of the front and the rear sights of a 9mm pistol. The front sight being a single post and the rear sight being double post. The goal of the sight alignment is to ensure that the sights are lined up so that it forms an E when you're looking down an E that's on the side. You want to place the sights in the middle of your target, and you want the target to look fuzzy and your sights to look clear. If you do this, then you'll have proper sight alignment. Moving along, next we'll talk about setting position. The picture here is a man demonstrating the proper standing position for a 9mm pistol. His feet are just a little bit more than shoulder width apart. His non-firing leg is slightly in front of his firing leg. His firing leg is the same hand as the hand that he is shooting the weapon with. His arms are extended straight out in front of him, and his head is placed to where he can look straight down the sights. There are two grips that help you achieve proper setting position of a 9mm pistol. I will demonstrate with this fake 9mm pistol. First one I'm going to explain is the teacup grip. First you take your firing hand, which I am right-handed, you place it around the weapon so that this part of your thumb is all the way up to this part of the weapon, and you wrap it around so that your finger can comfortably wrap around the trigger. You take your non-firing hand, you place it underneath the weapon, and then you place your thumbs together on the other side. This is the proper teacup grip for a 9mm pistol. When you are using the Weaver grip, you take your non-firing hand and you place it on the side of the weapon in a fashion so that your thumbs are out of the way of the slide of the trigger. That way your thumbs do not get cut by the slide of the trigger. Moving along, next we will talk about breathing. When you shoot a 9mm pistol, it is important to have proper breathing. Proper breathing will ensure that your weapon shoots more steadily. You want to actually pull the trigger on the natural pause that occurs in your breath. If it's too hard for you to do that, then you just want to make sure that you shoot it. Next we'll talk about the trigger squeeze. When you are actually firing the weapon, a couple things you can do to have a better trigger squeeze is pull the cocking lever back. This will change the actual poundage of the trigger from 12 pounds to 3 pounds. If you do this, your trigger squeeze will be much easier because the trigger will be easier to pull. This is called single action. Also, you want to make sure that before you pull the trigger, you pull the slack out. What that means is there's a little bit of extra slack in the trigger before you actually pull it. This slack, if you pull the slack out, it will be a little bit easier to pull the trigger as well, and the weapon won't jerk as much when you shoot it. You also want the weapon to actually surprise you when it goes off. That way, because if you anticipate the pull of the trigger, the weapon's going to go down. If you jerk the trigger too fast, the weapon's going to go up. And then your bullet is not going to go on an anticipated target that you're going to go for. In my briefing, we have discussed the 4 fundamentals of shooting a 9mm pistol. One important thing that I would like you to take away from my briefing is to always be safe when you're shooting a weapon. Because if you don't have proper fundamentals, then you never really know where your bullet's going to go. Therefore, to make sure that you always have your weapon in a safe direction whenever it is loaded. This concludes my briefing.